Hello there. It's time for some Google tips and tricks. And today's tips and tricks are all about how to use your Google Drive. So, one of the easiest ways to access your Google Drive is you can just click on your waffle and from there open up your drive. Your waffle may have your drive in a different location, but you actually have the access to be able to move things around in your waffle. So, feel free to organize it in a way that makes the most sense for you. But from there, I'm going to go ahead and open my drive. Now with my drive open, there are all kinds of things that I can do. I can create folders and subfolders to organize my work. In order to do that, I can just click on the plus over here where it says new. And you can see from there, I can create a new folder. And you want to give your folders titles so you can organize your work. So I've created a new folder. I can make my folders have different colors and you can do that by clicking on a folder and right-clicking on it, and then it gives you the choice of changing the color. So you can make that folder whatever color you would like to make it. You can have a folder for each of your classes to help you keep your work organized. You can select a list view like I have it here, or you can select a grid view if you prefer to see um, the things in your Google Drive more as a grid. List view works best for me, but you have that choice to select either one. You can also start new docs from here. So let's say I wanted a new doc and I wanted to put it in that new work folder that I just created. Then you can, so I'm going to open up this new work folder. So in order to actually keep yourself organized, you can open up the folder, you can click new, you can create your new document. You always want to make sure that you're giving your documents names as well. So I'm just going to call this new document. And so that way I know exactly what's in that folder and I've got everything organized. You want to make sure that you're giving your work titles so that you don't have a lot of unorganized and untitled things in your drive. You can search for anything that you have in your drive. So just by going to the drive search bar, you can type in a word and see if you have any documents in your drive that relate to that word. If someone shares a Google item with you, you can add that to your drive to make it easier for you to find. So you can go to your shared with me spot here. So if you're working on collaboration with one of your classmates or colleagues, then you can find something that's been shared with you. And when you tap on it, then you get the option right here of adding a shortcut that will put that into your drive. So if that's something that you want to have easier access to, you can organize it in your drive that way. It's a good idea to get in the habit of opening new projects from Google Drive because that way any item that's opened in a folder or subfolder in Drive stays in that folder and is already organized. You can delete old items you no longer need, and I have a tendency to call items that I no longer need, I just go ahead and call them trash. And once I run across something that I think, oh, I don't need this anymore, and then I know that if I run across that again, then I can click on it and I can send it to the trash. So I've got different things here that I've marked as trash. I know I don't need them, so I can just come over here to the trash can and get rid of those. So it's a good idea to go through and delete things you no longer need. If you've logged into Google Classroom, you should have a folder that's called Classroom. So if I go back to my drive is organized. Um, Google Drive defaults to organizing things alphabetically, but there are certain things that I like to be able to see. And so I've got numbers that I use to help me see the things that I want to see first. You can also use the priority feature to do that. So you can put folders there in priority that are the folders that you use the most. But if we're looking for Classroom, and I just find this Classroom folder, then this is something that has been made for me by Google Classroom, and it will have subfolders in here for all of my different Google classes.